So recapping. Oh.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. We're live, everyone.
Yes, we're live and we are having a conversation about how to open up. How to open up. How to open up.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, what?
No, I'm just kidding.
Wait,
What did you say?
A business. It's not even. Wait, it's not about business at all.
Hi, hello, how are you? Well, but you did open up with the yeah, you opened up. Well, sometimes we feel like it's very hard to find an understanding between each other.
Yeah.
And between the world around us. So we have created this channel to find a way to build a bridge to understanding to each other and to learn how to not hide within, how to just open up and maybe at least try to relate, right?
Right.
I feel like we are all very similar, although we seem different, and sometimes we get lost in translation. So instead of having any expectations for this channel, we're just getting to know each other and our processes of understanding our reality. How do you guys open up? Girls and guys.
I think I have a lot of trouble opening up. And I found that I don't really enjoy talking about myself. And I think that's because I'm scared to be completely seen by others. And I prefer to ask questions and understand the other person. But I also feel like that helps me understand myself too. But I definitely have a huge fear of being seen, even though I want to be seen so badly. So I'm definitely trying to navigate that, and I'm definitely exploring how I can see myself more and create space for myself, and feel confident in who I am with others, especially around dominating energies that make me feel like I want to shut down. So I'm trying to balance that, and I'm wondering how do you stop yourself from shutting down when you're around someone who has an energy that is kind of overpowering? But I mean, you can't really blame them either. How do you create the space for yourself when you're around someone else's energy that may influence you?
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful question that relates to opening up and shutting down. What do you think, Aviv? How do you understand that, and how do you open yourself up or shut yourself down? What is your process when you communicate with others?
Sometimes I when I feel that I can't relate to another person, and I feel like I won't be able to relate, that's when I shut down. And when I shut down, sometimes I have a little bit of some aggressive energy, and so I will kind of poke the perspective of the other person by saying a slightly more extreme version of what I actually think, not to bother them, but in an attempt to be really honest about what I'm thinking.
You kind of just let it out,
but a little bit
quickly, right? You're instead of gradually opening up, you on the way of shutting down, you kind of live an imprint. Right? Is it?
Actually, I don't know.
No?
Because that might be interpreted as a different thing. That might be interpreted as on your way out before shutting the door saying something not nice. And it's not that.
It's not that.
It's not that.
It's a different depth of that. Is it?
Well, it's kind of like cooking a soup, and the soup is boiling, but as it's boiling I keep adding spice to it, So by the time I let someone have a taste, it's too spicy for them.
But-
do you know what I mean?
But how do you know how spicy they like? Or do you just automatically assume that it's too spicy for them right away? Based on
You
your
could
previous
see-
experiences
Oh, no,
with people's tolerance of spiciness.
When I don't say anything for a while, the soup is boiling and I add spice.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I finally give them a taste of what I think, it's too spicy because I'm kind of,
Oh, because you hold it
I
in?
hold it in.
Oh.
So and then it's
I
too
see.
spicy.
You let it simmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it's not that something bad happens, but just
Imbalance.
It's imbalance in
Yeah.
communication, and right away both parties shut off,
Yeah.
kind of.
kind of go within instead of
Yeah,
connecting.
but at the same time I think it's okay. Like I don't see that as a problem in my life
Mm-hmm.
because I think the real problem is, or I guess the real problem is being in a situation where that keeps happening. So my solution is to not be in that situation. Like we don't have to get along with everyone. We don't have to fully connect with everyone. So like at school, I wasn't able to connect with the school experience. So I kept giving people spicy spoons. My teachers especially.
Laying on the floor.
Yeah. But the solution I feel wasn't to change myself because I tried, but just to not be in that situation that wasn't good for me.
I see.
So that's why I don't see it as an issue, but rather as a natural reaction.
Well, having honest conversations,
Yeah, yeah.
right? I do want to go back to our conversation in Shasta and our conversation about depth and how do we find people that are on the same level of depth we are to connect, right? Because a lot of times we start talking to somebody to either quickly realize that we're on completely different levels of understanding of the same thing, or sometimes we really give it a good try by trying to relate and express our view to then again realize that we're on completely different levels of understanding of the same thing. So I remember us talking about finding it hard to find people that we relate to, right? So the question is it important? Or I understand we don't have to understand everyone or relate to everyone, but wouldn't it be nice to relate to someone? To have somebody hear you and understand you and like I'm having the time of my life with you guys because although we're on might be on different
Yeah, it's just
It's
Is
a
it
low
okay?
battery.
yeah we'll still have some sort of percent. So basically where was I instead of lose my thought. It happens a lot.
Relating,
It-
connecting.
Yeah, so even though we are on different levels maybe of understanding different things, right? But we are, we just connect because we want to understand each other, right? And we're like very eager to explore each other's points of view without any expectations or without any preconceived but basically we're letting our triggers down, right? Whatever, letting our guards down. Whenever you say something that I disagree with, because I already relate to you and I know how deep you are and I know how deep you are, or how beautiful your minds are. I know that even if we disagree on something, it's just a beautiful way of me having a deeper or a different angle on viewing the same thing as that I see already being so deep. So but instead of attaching myself to my own point of view, I want to have a full 360, right? I want to see your view, and I think it's such a beautiful thing, and I feel like we're missing that in our community, in our society, of people just trying to just having these conversations and finding a way to relate on some level, right?
Yeah.
So it's like let's find that one platform and then explore each other's ways, without having to take anything away from it. But the time spent by us having this conversation is such a calming and such a beautiful experience in itself. It's a journey of expansion, of expanding our view, and it's just a good time, especially now when there's nowhere to go really, you know, to outlet yourself, to outlet your point of view, you know, to release your tension. I think through conversation we are not only finding a way to relate to each other, but it's kind of therapeutic. And it's something that I look forward to every week, you know, because I have so many things that I have to do, and this is something that I just love to do. So I think finding that between each other for others could be really beneficial.
Yeah.
And a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why we're basically, I think, are talking about how to open up and how to start having fun opening up instead of constantly going within and defense mechanism. How do we drop that? How do we drop that? How do we stop judging each other? How do we stop analyzing which depth we're in, and how do we find our way back to each other, back to one another, and back to, you know, the whole, the one.
Totally. I think like it's so important to connect to your heart too, and like speak from your heart instead of like being in your head when you're with someone, and also creating trust and like trusting that they're not going to judge you and that you're not going to judge yourself either, right? I think that goes hand in hand with having open conversations, transparent conversations.
Can I just say that we've recorded a few videos like this, and we're in the process of opening up, and we have a YouTube channel also that we're just exploring on how to use and how to put a structure to it.
Yes.
So I think us recording these videos in the process of us opening up is kind of the opening up process itself, right?
Totally.
So we're just being raw, we're being honest, we're being unfiltered, we are not rehearsing really. We're working with whatever we got as far as equipment. The space is the bedroom because it has a carpet and the sound is better.
Yes.
And I feel like starting somewhere is kind of a good point to begin. No matter how perfect or imperfect something is, there's got to be a starting point of use to start to open up, right? And then see how it goes. So even with communication, I think everything is relatable on every level. Even with communication with others, a lot of times we kind of sit back and we first analyze. We're in observation mode. We are shut off. We have our, you know, spikes, our mechanism, and we observe. By observing too much, sometimes I feel that we judge, inadvertently analyze, overanalyze. I tend to do that, but speaking from experience, I've learned that Sometimes all it takes is to just open up.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say some-
Yeah.
Can I say something
Yeah, I'm
About
sorry. I sometimes
judging?
speak too much.
about judging though? I feel like judging gets negative connotation,
Yeah.
and but what if someone judges you well? Do you want them to
Yeah.
not judge you well?
Yeah, exactly.
So of course, I think judging is not a bad thing, and I think we can't get rid of judging and judgment
Mm-hmm.
because it's an inherent process in
Yes.
communication.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's just kind of blank. Like everything is just. A wall will never judge you, but do you really want to talk to a wall?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Like I want you to judge me, even if it's
know,
against
same
you.
with me, because I understand already. We already have a connection, and I feel comfortable with you judging me because it expands me.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a balance. That's where I wanted to make a point where being judged is good and being judged is bad, right? So it's can be either a process of expansion,
Yeah, I see.
you know, a
Yeah,
process of expanding yourself, or a process of going within and hiding.
Mm-hmm.
It depends, I guess. It has to be. It's such an intricate mechanism of who you're being judged to. How, like, do you trust? It's coming back to trust. Do you trust that person who's judging you,
Yeah.
right? So I guess first you build trust,
Mm-hmm.
but how do you build trust unless if you right away shut off because you feel that you're being judged in a bad way?
Mm-hmm.
But so that's true. But at the same time, judgment doesn't always result in shutting off. Like between two open people or two curious people or whichever, judgment leads to deeper interaction if that judgment is expressed,
Yes.
and if
That's true.
if
Very
that
true.
judgment, if the other person doesn't shy away from it but like interacts with that,
Mm-hmm.
then that's
Like-
exactly how relationships get deeper.
Yeah, and if the
Okay.
judgment is repressed, sometimes that creates more tension and a lack of trust. Is that what you're saying too?
Yeah, like if I judge you but I don't tell you and
If
you
you don't
never
tell
know,
me.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's not being
I'm
transparent.
not judging you, but
Yeah.
but I
So
am.
Yeah.
that's a beautiful point, and I think it's a good point to acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
right before pushing the start button, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the good place to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So first you have to understand that judgment gets a bad judgment.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Right?
yeah,
Judgment
So
does.
judgment is not bad, because
Yeah.
judgment can expand you to be a better version and more
Yeah.
it broaden your view.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're honest about
If
your
you're
judgment.
honest about your
for
judgment.
sure.
But first you have to be strong enough to open up
Yeah.
to judgment,
Yeah.
Mm.
right? So how do you do that? So how do we go deeper within of the understanding of opening up? So we opened up. How do we get to the point where we're not afraid
Mm-hmm.
to be judged?
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with the individual and feeling grounded in yourself, and again creating space for yourself and delving into yourself and getting to know who you are. And I think once you have an understanding of who you are and you don't judge yourself, then maybe you'll be able to be like self-assured and like confident enough to hear what other people have to say about you. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think I
think
figured
that's
that out
right.
by myself.
It makes total sense. I do think that before going without,
Mhm.
we have to go within and
Mhm.
explore ourselves. So
Mhm.
to be able to expose ourselves to the world
Mhm.
and to fully completely open up, or
Yeah.
at least start to open up, we usually go within.
Yeah.
And that's my process. I went deep within, I contracted to get to know myself before trying to get to know anybody else. At first, I realized I don't know myself well enough. I don't know my triggers. Sometimes I get set off so easily by something that afterwards I'm like, okay, what happened there? Like, why did I get this offended? And then I realize it's because I don't know myself well enough to know that triggers me, or to know how to avoid that trigger, how to walk around it, or how to step on it and be confident with my reaction to it being non-explosive. You know what I mean? It's like going within to explore what triggers me and what makes me tick, and why do I sometimes feel judged, and go deeper within, and I want to talk about the opening up and going deeper within again. I know we did a video, but I think it's important to, I am very visual, and I'd like to do this little visual mechanism. So what happens, and by the way, we have a YouTube channel where we did other videos, and I uploaded another video of my understanding of the universe with visual effects, and you know, I'm learning, but I decided to have a starting point to start opening up. And there is a video about our dreams being what's within, and our reality being the same materia prima that is without. So how do we go from the inside to the outside world? How do we go from here to there? And I feel like sometimes we open up, and when we find, you know, that something triggers us, or we're being misunderstood, we close up. But we close up so quick, and we open up, and then we close up, and instead of allowing ourselves time to unfold and to fold within, we do it so fast that the transition, within the transition, we create holes, and we we break ourselves. You know, imagine you open this up, and what happens if you just shove yourself back in because you got scared that you're being misunderstood? Next time you're gonna open up, are you gonna be full, complete, or are you gonna be already at least a little bit, your reality is gonna be a little bit distorted, right? And then you do it again, and then you open up, and then you do it again, and then, you know, we're like a beautiful origami. It's every morning, with the way we start our day. I think it's so important to slowly, instead of being like by alarm, you know, we have to do this, we have to do that, triggers, set off a trigger, and then you right away, you open up, and then you get so exhausted by the end of the day, and that instead of folding back in carefully, right, you just shut down, right? We're skipping the process of transition, the transitioning process, right? So I meet you, and we were lucky to have a transition, right? We were camping together. That's the first time we met each other. We had, my mom was with me, your mom was with you, and we kind of like, it wasn't just us right away being together in an unknown circumstances or known circumstances. We had a transition, right, of opening up to each other, and I think it kind of worked. Not kind of, it did. But not everyone right now, because everything goes so fast, we don't have time to get to know each other, to open up, you know, and especially right now with the the 6 feet apart, and you can be in the same place, you can have a party, you can this and that. I think we're so deprived of time to open up.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
That the space and time we're given this much space and this much time, and you know we can see each other's facial expressions, and I think it's
Oh yeah, that's annoying.
That's
yeah.
so true.
We don't know if I don't know if you're smiling.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
read your eyes. You know, I don't know if you're smiling. Or
Yeah.
if you're beaming. I don't know. I can't hear you, and I think it's makes the process of opening up just non-existent and shutting off. It's kind of like you open up, there's no transition,
Yeah.
right? You go into the store and you shop and you get what you need. Are we still recording? Just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then anywhere you go, right? We don't get the time to really open up, and you know, not that it was easy for me before this whole thing. I think it's actually easier for me now because I already met you and I met you. I'm lucky, but I don't think everyone is as lucky. And right now, those people that did not get a chance to open up and make a friend,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Are like
right now,
isolated.
they're completely isolated,
Yeah.
and they right now they're sitting at home, and they don't know how it might look tomorrow. Will they ever meet somebody who they can open up to?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting chills right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I want this channel to be for those that are sitting at home,
Mm-hmm.
just like I felt, you know, and I still feel sometimes, you know, it's a high and a low, and
Mm-hmm.
a high and a low. I want this to be an outlet for everybody who feels like they don't know who to open up to, where to open up. We're opening up ourselves
Mm-hmm.
to each other and to you in hope that you can find some sort of correlation and open up to us, to maybe listening and seeing that we are connected. We are all connected, and no matter how hard it might feel and how unrelatable
Mm-hmm.
we might seem to each other, and the levels of depth, which we'll discuss in other episodes, our levels of understanding are like up and down and up and down, but at the same time I feel like we're all made of the same material, of the same,
Yeah.
you know, and we all have the same preset of the full story. We're just on different levels of understanding of the same thing. We all go through the same lessons, and there's always someone out there that you can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, I thought that I cannot not ever find anybody
Mm-hmm.
until I met Aviv and now you,
Mm-hmm.
and it's now expanded my view and my hope and my understanding that, oh my God, like these people are here. They've been here all along. They're not just missing. It was not, you know, they were not nowhere. They were here. We just didn't connect. We didn't see each other. We didn't get the chance.
Mhm.
So, you know, I don't know, I'll speak for all of us. Hopefully you can
Yeah.
relate. We want to use this platform to kind of, you know, just relate, build the bridge
Mm-hmm.
to understanding that nobody's really alone,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even if it's just one person who understands you exactly the way you want them to understand, but they're there.
Mhm.
They're here, not
Yeah.
there. They're here now. They're
Mhm.
here now.
Definitely. Yeah.
But sometimes it's like,
No, I love when you contradict me because it expands my. Because whatever you think, there's gonna be so many people who can relate so much more with
That's
what
true.
you think. Believe me, and be completely
yeah,
not relatable to what I think.
Yeah,
So it's beautiful to have different points of view. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
yeah. No, I mean, I wasn't gonna really contradict. I was just gonna say sometimes. So I think each person wants to be related in different ways at different times, and that's why sometimes I guess that's why having, for example, one friend probably isn't enough, but having 30 friends, like active friends, is too much. And I guess something that's that I think Anushka and I think about often is how can we create a system or something that allows people to meet like-minded people, because I'm not sure that entirely exists. But maybe that's a different conversation. But
yeah, and there is definitely. Remember I sent you the criteria for this new dating website?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh,
I'm gonna have to read it. Yeah. I don't have it here, but it was. We talked about. Well. I just don't know how far to open up as far as that goes. All right, maybe not yet. But basically, I was thinking of creating a system where you can kind of filter through on a deeper level instead of like, oh well,
In
do you
regards
like
to dating apps. So oh, never mind.
Thanks, it's okay. No, let's do it. We're opening up. Yes. So okay. What? No. Okay. No, it's because I guess I don't know who's gonna be watching, but yes, I'm talking about the dating apps and
your personal dating life. Are you talking about?
Yeah, because I don't have any,
Uh-huh.
and I've recently gotten divorced, and I haven't, dated in over. Besides my former husband, I haven't dated for 9 years. I was in the dating scene, and we finalized about a year ago, and so I'm just starting to. And I tried the Bumblebee last week, and I tried it for 2 days, and it was crazy because there's no filter. It's like you open up and it's like
it's like overload,
and I'm like, oh my god, I can get stuck.
You
I
get
don't have that time.
desensitized.
Yeah, it's like how can I? Hopefully, there's got to be a better way, maybe deeper questions that connect us on a different level, closer, right away. And me and Aviv talked also about it, and I said, well, there's like a series of questions that we can possibly create, right? That have nothing to do with are you a smoker? Are you this? Are you that? Are you what are you like? Those are so. To me, they're shallow. They don't describe you at all, who you are. I look more at the picture and where you took the picture. The picture tells me way more information than any of the information that you actually typed in, based on the question that the system asked you, right?
Yeah.
So we were thinking about creating a different system, a different dating app. And for example, one of the questions would be, imagine if, right, the life would be was a one big theatrical production, right? Would you rather be the actor, the star, the face, be the writer behind the scenes, the director, maybe one of the crew members who is on the set, the voice, the sound, the light, the technicians, the masters. Would you rather be selling tickets to the show? Would you rather be the investor with the best ticket in the front line, watching the show with your cigar, what, those types of questions?
That would say
I
a
feel
lot
like
about
they would tell you a lot about the personality right away. I think.
Wait, what would you guys choose? Just curious.
What would
Yeah.
you choose?
What would you choose? I know what I would choose.
I think the writer's
Yeah.
The
I would choose the writer too, because you're the creator.
Yeah,
reality.
the creator, right? I know.
I'm
me too.
the director,
writer.
like the
But
Right.
I also want to be different things at different times.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I
that's
can't
cool.
lie, you know, like
The
oh,
star.
well, yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like I have these different hats that
Yeah.
I put on. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like at this moment I want to be this, and that moment I want to be that.
It's interesting how like around different people we kind of take on different roles too. Like
Exactly.
we get so affected by people's energies. Like sometimes we shrink and then sometimes we're like powerful.
Mhm.
Sometimes we feel more confident. Sometimes we want to be the director, right?
Mhm.
Like, do you guys feel that way?
I
don't
feel that way a lot.
I feel that way a lot too.
And I used to think that it's like a disorder. You know, people
Yeah.
call it like
Alright.
disorder.
Yeah.
If you're
That
not
it's
one
a
thing,
disorder. If
that's
you're not
Yeah.
one thing, that's
Yeah.
a disorder.
Yeah.
You're just
Personality
yes,
disorder.
no disorder. And I used to be one of those believers who would think that.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty. No, I'm guilty. Yeah. Like I want to
I
shit
thought
out
I
there.
felt
Like,
that too.
yeah, I was like, I used to sometimes judge people by being that they're like have like split personality disorder.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I don't only have a split personality disorder, I have like 360 of them hidden inside
Yeah.
that are like that origami, you know,
Yeah.
opening up and being like, bam, bam, hi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so coming back to whether I want to be the actor, the director, the writer, it's all different personalities
Mhm.
that different roles that I choose to take on different times. And I feel like the process of that is not a disorder
Yeah.
by any means. I think it's a process of evolution. And this is where we get to the point of understanding our reality and correlating different processes on different levels. I hope you're not gonna fall asleep right now. You're like,
no.
but can I just coming a little bit to the biology because I relate everything on every level right away.
I'm just
But
nodding.
coming from
I swear. I do that.
but correlating that before I lose my thought.
Yeah.
Correlating that to biology and to
Yeah.
being a one cell organism
Mhm.
and that evolved eventually into something that is this. Ta-da. So how the splitting of the cell, right? First it's like one cell, and then it takes too much space. It has too much space, too much information, and it starts splitting into two. And something, the new cell, cell has everything the same, but something different, right? Like a little different sequence of something. It's kind of like, imagine you're a cell that is splitting of the other cell because you grew too much, you expanded too much. It's time to split up, right? It's time to create, to broaden, to expand even further, and to create more and to create more. So you're splitting up and you're choosing, oh, what am I going to take from this experience? I'm going to take this I liked, and this I liked, and this I didn't like. Okay, cool. So you're creating kind of things based on your experience. But I feel like this is what happens naturally to the process of us growing, is us creating different personalities according to the environment.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's natural for us to be different.
10%?
10%?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
means we should
Well,
stop it
let's
doesn't-
finish this
soon
up.
so we
So
can
it
save
doesn't
it.
say, yeah.
So we can so
Okay. Well, basically, I think that splitting up is growing,
Yeah.
and having differences
Definitely, yeah.
expands us.
Yeah.
Because if we were all the same, we would be that one cell
That's so
occupying the same space all the time.
true. Yeah.
No movement inside out. And I think that by creating these different sequences of the way we react to different situations, to our environment, to other people, is a natural process of expansion and us learning, a learning process. And it's evolution in understanding, right? But anyhow, I think that we all started from one cell and then started splitting up, and taking away everything we like based on our experience, on what we feel, and adding stuff that putting away, giving away stuff we don't like, and then adding new information. And I think that this is what essentially makes that 1% of our DNA as humans different, right? We're the same, 99%, 1% is different. That's what makes us human. Otherwise, we would have been robots, right? If we were all the same. So instead of trying to be the same, let's find beauty in the difference.
Yeah.
And just build bridges, even if they're not permanent. At least temporary bridges to understanding.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Temporary
that's
words,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, we can always have like retractable ones, you know, like that can go into different directions too, you know, and you'll be in the 360. So let's just
embracing the difference to help us expand.
Exactly, just expand, explore. Yeah, explore. Exploration. Yes. All right, guys, please follow us. Like, subscribe. Whatever. Oh, my kids say yeah. Follow, like, and subscribe. Follow, like, and subscribe. Woo! Yes, and
check out our YouTube channel. We have plenty. Oh, we only have one video.
No, we have two.
But I thought
I have mine there.
Oh, yeah, we have two.
Yeah, and I'm gonna add more, and I hope everybody will add more. And thank you so much for joining, and we hope you can understand that we are that we're connected.
Yeah,
we're all connected, and you're never alone. Bye.
Woo. Oh.
Okay, how do we use this? Ta-da!
How do we do
The technician.
Yes.
The mechanic.